Hey guys, this is BrownBag talking sports here again to talk about the New Orleans Saints. This time I'll be discussing our recent matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which we won 34 to 17. So without further ado, let's get into it. After that debacle that occurred last week, this is a great way to bounce back. To talk about the offense first, Alvin Kamara had a really good day. He got 13 carries for 75 yards. And Murray had a pretty decent day. He had 10 carries for 27 yards. We mostly use Murray for short yard situations, so he's never gonna have that stat line that just blows your mind. But yeah, he was productive. I'm glad we used Alvin Kamara more. Last week we only rushed him 4 times. I guess Peyton didn't trust Kamara. He just got off of injury, off of a sprained ankle. Guess he didn't want to aggravate anything, but overall, we didn't really run the ball that much, and it was a close game, so it's not like we were down by a lot of points, so we had to throw the ball or anything. But yeah, that wasn't the case this week. But in the receiving game, he was productive as well, with 10 receptions for 47 yards. It's great to see Kamara. It's great to see his elusiveness, and it's great to see him back on the field. And it's great to see the rushing game working. Moving on to the passing game, Breeze. Breeze was productive today. He had a pretty serviceable day. He was 28 for 35 passing attempts and had 228 yards and 3 touchdowns. So that 228 yards, it doesn't look all that flashy, but the main thing that sticks out to me is the 3 touchdowns. Last week we had a tough time finishing in the end zone. But the 3 touchdowns this week, it's really encouraging. We started off pretty slow. We started off with field goals, but after the defense got a turnover, Mike Thomas got in the end zone, and then we went off from there. That was something we really needed to improve on from last week. But yeah, overall, not much to say about Breeze. He wasn't all that flashy today. He didn't go off, but he didn't hurt us either. So moving on to the receivers, I already mentioned Alvin Kamara with his 10 receptions for 47 yards. But Mike Thomas had 8 receptions for 114 yards, and he finished with a touchdown. On paper, Jared Cook didn't have a huge game. He only had 2 receptions for 33 yards, but he had a really beautiful end zone catch. Well, his first catch was pretty impressive too. He got some yards after the catch. Breeze hit him in stride, but the touchdown catch was amazing. It scared me at first because watching it in real time, it wasn't all that clear. It looked like Tampa Bay had intercepted it, but when they showed the replay, he was clearly down and he clearly caught the ball. So that's good. Would have been terrible if we turned it over in the end zone there, but that was a really good catch by Jared Cook, and I just hope to see him more in the future because the first couple of weeks he hasn't really looked all that impressive. He hasn't been a total bum, but he just hasn't been much of a threat. But that touchdown pass, that's what we wanted as Saints fans when we heard Jared Cook got signed. Ted Ginn had a pretty decent day. He got in the end zone too, so that's a good thing. But outside of those 4, there's not much to talk about in the receiving core. Overall thoughts on this offense, we look good today. We finished in the end zone a lot better than last week. We just got to work on getting on the same page and just starting off better. Like I said, we start off pretty slow. We had to kick those 2 field goals in the beginning, but defense came through with a turnover, and that's what sparked our offense. So yeah, good effort from our offense. Just hope to see better in the future. Just to mention Will Lutz real quick, he was perfect on the day, and he kicked a 44-yard field goal. So just thank you to Will Lutz. Thank you to Will Lutz. Keep it up. So to get into this defense, our defense straight up balled this week. Marshawn Lattimore got injured. It's not season ending. I forgot what the injury actually was, but yeah, he wasn't in this game, and I was a bit concerned because our secondary can make big plays, but they can also give up big plays as well. Our defensive line can get after the quarterback, and they did a pretty decent job this day doing that. They had finished with 2 sacks. Cam Jordan got 1.5, and Von Bell assisted Cam Jordan with his half. So yeah, I have no questions about the defensive line, but Tampa Bay's offense. Say what you want about Jameis Winston. Say that he's a turnover machine and all, but he can put up points. He's a real talent, and it's honestly a shame that he hasn't taken that step into the elite category because he has the potential to do so. It's just the turnovers are holding him down. When the Buccaneers played against the Rams, they threw up 55 points on them. And when the Buccaneers played against the Seahawks in Seattle, they gave them a run for their money. Their defense couldn't stop the Seahawks, and they ended up losing 40-34. But Jameis, the offense tried their best, and I don't know if he had any turnovers in that game. He might have. Let me check real quick. He actually didn't have any turnovers that game. So the offense did what they could. They did their best, but their defense kind of gave up in the long run. But my point is that the Buccaneers, I mean, they haven't been all that consistent. They haven't been perfect this season, obviously, but they've been making teams fight, and they're no slouch. They can throw up 30 to 40 points on you, and their offense is nothing to sleep on. But the Saints held it down today. We picked off Jameis Winston 4 times. 4 times. That's incredible. The first time wasn't totally on Jameis. The first time the receiver just kind of caught it weird. He caught it, but then he kind of like one-handed it, and then the ball, I don't know how to describe it. I just have to show it to you. But he tried to bring the ball down, but the ball was still in one of his hands. He tried to bring it to the small of his back, and one of our defenders tackled him, popped the ball up, and then Demario Davis got it. So yeah, that was the first of those. The second one was like right before the half when Tampa Bay was trying to get a field goal off. It was 20-7. The score puts them pretty close, all things considered. So the fact that we picked it off, it was Von Bell, I believe. Yeah, it was Von Bell. The fact that we picked it off and stopped them from scoring, stopped any hope before the half, stopped any momentum they were trying to generate, that was good on our defense. The third one was a pick six. I don't know what Jameis was doing with this, but yeah, Marcus Williams just picked it off. It was like there was no receivers in Marcus Williams' area. I don't know what Jameis was thinking, but yeah, Marcus Williams picked it off, and he took it to the house, and that pretty much sealed the game. But to add injury to insult, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are like right near the goal line. It was like 3rd and goal. At this point, they're just trying to score just for pride's sake. So the snap was kind of off. Jameis kind of mishandled it. He threw it towards the right side of the end zone. We picked it off in the end zone, and that was all she wrote. That was it. For us to not have Lattimore here and to go against one of the not one of the best passing offenses, but one of the more capable passing offenses in the NFC. It was really impressive by us. It was really impressive by our defense. And I already mentioned the defensive line. We generated pressure. We got 2 sacks in total, and I'm satisfied with that, especially with the 4 picks. So all in all, great showing by the defense. Very capable showing by the offense. Yeah. Let's get better next week. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, BrownBag signing out. Great job, Saints. Now we're on to Carolina.